exposed to the society, they're exposed to the internet, they're exposed to all sorts of fake, wrong and misleading information. Hello guys, you're welcome back to my channel. If you're new to the channel, I am Ivy Akum, and my old subscribers, thank you all so much for always coming back. And please, if you are watching this video and you're new here or you haven't subscribed yet, please kindly hit right down on the subscribe button, the little red button below, so that of course you're going to join this beautiful family of ours. So in today's video, we'll be talking about something really serious, because for some time now we have mostly been on makeup videos and our casual tutorial videos, but today I decided to get real, because I feel like it's a topic which is really pertinent and important, yet it's not well spoken about, or it is not really stressed upon as it should be. So what I'm going to be talking about today is talking about sex education to teenagers. This is a very pertinent and sensitive topic, especially in our African society. This topic should be or is of concern to almost everybody, because if you don't have a teenage daughter, you must have a teenage sister, you must have a teenage cousin or a teenage relative somewhere with whom this information could be shared with, which will be of really great benefit to his or her life. Now, if you want to hear more and follow me on this very juicy topic, please don't go anywhere, keep watching. In our African society, in our Cameroonian society, sex education has always been considered as a taboo. It has always been seen as something which is out of place, especially talking about it to children or teenagers. And for a long time, things have been going on like that. Kids mostly grew up to learn about sex education either from school, from friends, or from the society, or just learn it by themselves. Back then, parents were able to get away with that. Guardians were able to get away with that. Teachers were able to get away with avoiding such sensitive topics, but nowadays the whole game has changed. It's a different ball game altogether. And what accounts for this change is the internet, modernism, exposure, you can name it. Nowadays, children start learning so fast than before. They start being exposed to a lot of stuff so fast than before. There are a lot of parents, a lot of guardians who still believe that sex education shouldn't be taught to children in all its forms. That is a very wrong decision, because if you don't teach these kids, they are going to teach themselves. Nowadays, the best thing you could do for your teenage children, for your teenage girls, is to give them proper sex education. You may think, no, she's just 9, she's just 10, she's just 11. My dear sister, my dear parents, my dear brother, you may be shocked at what these children know. Some of them may even know things you don't know. Why? Because they are so exposed. They are exposed to the society, they're exposed to the internet, they're exposed to all sorts of fake, wrong and misleading information. And trust me, if you don't give them the right information, if you don't give them the right education, the society is going to educate them, the internet is going to educate them, their friends are going to educate them, and trust me, it's never going to be a good idea, because nowadays there's a lot of corrupting ideas, a lot of corrupting evil notions which can totally mar and destroy a child's future and reputation. The rate of rape nowadays is alarming. It's so painful and so disgusting to just imagine what some of these children or some of the victims of this rape are going through. The rate of lesbianism, homosexuality, pedophile acts, and so on and so forth, it's terribly alarming. Children as young as 1 year old get raped by elderly people. So these children have to be educated. It's not a guaranteed 100% solution to these acts, but trust me, proper sex education to children, trust me, it will go a long way to alleviate some of these defects of the society. This doesn't only concern the parents of the children, the school, it also concerns everybody or anybody who is related or who is around these children, because any information you give them or any right proper orientation you give them will go a long way. Parents, please, you have to give these children the proper sex education. It's your duty to protect these kids as far as you can. Teachers are also concerned. Sisters, brothers, uncles, guardians, any person who can lead a child is in the position to give this education. Now, how's the proper way, or how can you go about it? I'm going to just give you some few tips. Sex education should be given to children as from 10 years old onwards, because at that age they already start reasoning, they already start having a reasoning capacity which they could actually understand some of those things, and those children are already at risk. So how do you go about it? Firstly, you start with the basics. You first have to explain to them and tell them the reasons why their bodies are changing, because at that age they are getting into puberty and adolescence. They will start noticing changes on their body, so you have to give them proper education on why these changes are taking place, how they are going to take place, and on the things they are going to expect, especially for the girls who go through a lot during this period. Their breast changes, their physical appearance, their hips changes, and the most important, you have to teach them properly about menstruation, and they have to know how all these things are going to take place and the effect it's going to have on them and also on people around them. The second thing you have to take note of when teaching these children is you have to use the right terms and the right words to everything. You have to use the right terminology, because calling the genital with different names already sends that idea into their heads that there's something to be ashamed of. So you have to be honest with them and tell them exactly as it is. Use the real name for body organs and parts when talking to them. The next step you have to take when teaching these children sex education is explain things to them in detail. If possible, use diagrams. Yes, use diagrams. Explain things to them in details. Also, describe each body part and its functions so they should know properly. The next important thing you have to do is you have to create a safe environment for these children. To create an environment where they will be free to discuss with you, they'll be free to tell you what they think, they'll be free to ask questions. Prepare yourself to talk about uncomfortable topics as openly as possible. It's also important to model appropriate language and dialogue during this period. Be sure to set a clear boundary. Any laughing or inappropriate jokes are not tolerated or should not be tolerated. You have to make them feel safe with you to be able to ask questions and actually tell you what they think, because in this way you are going to be able to debunk so many wrong ideas they have. You won't imagine how many wrong ideologies these children pick up from school and from the society. So if they feel safe with you as a parent, if they feel safe with you as a guardian, as a teacher, they are going to tell you exactly what they think or what they have been taught or what they have learned from friends, and in that place you will be able to debunk it and instill in them the rightful information. You have to let them ask questions, especially the girls. The girls usually have a lot of questions because they have a lot of myths about their bodies, they have a lot of myths about their sexuality, and these myths they pick out there from so many varied, strange and wrong sources. It's very empowering for them to know what is true and what is not, what is a myth and what is not a myth, to know the realities of their sexuality, the realities of their bodies, the realities they are going to face out there. It's very, very important. The next step you have to take is you have to educate yourself as well. You have to try to find out some of the things that these children they discuss in their groups back in school. You have to find out some of the myths they have, and you have to learn about them so you'll be able to answer their questions when posed to you. Lastly, you have to talk about it to them over and over and over again, because some of these children, the more you tell them about it is the more you create the awareness. So you should never be tired of talking to them or of guiding them towards this stage in life. When you educate these children on these things, it's like you're empowering them rather than leaving them in the dark, because if you don't teach them, like I said before, the society is going to do it for you, and trust me, it can never be of a positive influence on the children. These teenagers are so vulnerable, they are so exposed to a lot of terrible things, so we really have to be careful. The society is getting bad and bad and bad by the day. So if you're a parent out there and you're watching this video, if you're a guardian or if you have children around you, please, you need to take the bull by its horns and start empowering these children with the proper sex education. Before I go, I just want to tell you the reason or what actually prompted me to do this video. Nowadays, whenever you go online, you must see one disheartening story or the other. The other day was a story of a girl who was being raped by her father, and then another one who was being raped by her guardian, and then another student who was being molested by a teacher, and then another young 14-year-old boy who was raped or who was being raped by his male teacher. In fact, the things are so despicable. So you see, It's really, really pertinent, and we need to do the needful. We really need to do the needful and give. Some of these children even go through these things without even knowing, because they don't even know what is happening to their bodies. They don't even know which parts are sensitive or not. So it's all just so complicated. So the least you could do as a parent is to properly educate these children on what they have to know. So without much ado, I think I'm going to end this video here. Thank you all so much for watching, and see you all in my next video. Bye.